Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, and we are finally back with the second season of our Clash of Kings Let's Play. So, today is going to be a interesting episode, because it's going to be a bit short, and we're not going to get a whole lot done. We are going to do some stuff. However, most of the stuff that we are going to do moving forward is going to rely heavily on you guys. So, I can't really get started until I've had some feedback. So, a lot has changed between the end of Season 1 and the beginning of Season 2. As many of you probably know if you watched the whole series, I've basically had to remake our progress from scratch. I've essentially restarted, and with some cheats and a little bit of grinding, I've gotten us back to roughly where we were at the end of Season 1. So, the North belongs to us, the Kingdom of the North, and I currently hold Winterfell, as well as Crofter's Village, all of the Three Sisters, and all of Lorath. Where is it? There it is. So those are all either not assigned to anybody or belonging to me. The rest of the northern territories that we've conquered have been given back to their original lords. And in order to maintain peace, as you guys saw just before this, I have married the eldest daughter of Lord Great John Umber, and so he is supporting my claim to the title of the kingdom or King of the North. And plenty has gone on outside of the kingdom as well. The Iron Islands still hold a bit of the southwestern part of the North. And the Westerlands, besides conquering a little bit of the eastern part of the North, also hold all of the Riverlands, all of the Westerlands, all of the Crown Lands, and a bit of the Reach even. So they are by far the biggest threat and the most powerful faction on the map currently. Quite a few kingdoms have changed hands. The Westerlands are no longer led by Tywin Lannister. They are currently being ruled by the Queen Cersei Lannister. In the Reach, Lord Mace Tyrell is dead, and the faction is currently being led by Lady Olenna Tyrell. In the Stormlands, all of the Baratheons are gone, save for one of Robert Baratheon's bastard sons, who currently leads the Stormlands Lords. The Kingdom of Dorne, or the Lordship of Dorne, whatever you prefer to call it, is currently being led by the wife of Oberyn Martell, Ilaria Sand, and the Kingdom of Dragonstone is no longer being ruled by Stannis Baratheon. In his attempts to retake the Iron Throne from the Lannisters, he has died, and a Dragon Queen from Essos has moved in, or at least that's what the rumors say. The Vale is largely unchanged. However, they are currently being headed by Lord Protector Peter Baelish, who is currently performing his duties as regent for the young Robin Arryn. And Essos has been in pretty much constant warfare ever since we've ended. So a lot of stuff has changed. Oh, and King Balon Greyjoy is dead, and his brother Euron Greyjoy currently leads the Iron Islands. So a lot of stuff has changed, and we need to decide what to do first. We have two kingdoms currently holding what would normally be Northern Territory, and we cannot let that stand. So we'll have to decide, do we want to attack the Ironborn first and take back Barrowton, Coldmire, and the Rills, or do we want to go after the Westerlands and White Harbor? Just so you guys know, Barbary Dustin, who would normally hold Barrowton, currently is holding Moat Cailin for me, as well as Whitehill, because I didn't want her running around without any land. So I've given her this, which means that when we retake Barrowton, I will probably keep that for myself. The Manderleys, however, do not have any territory at the moment. Pretty much everything that they held previously is now held by the Westerlands. And I didn't want to give them territory that wasn't traditionally theirs, because obviously a Manderley should be in White Harbor. So what I might do is I will probably leave Lord Manderley without any territory until White Harbor is taken, and maybe Bright Fog. I'll give him both of those. However, the two younger Manderleys will probably get territory in the Three Sisters. I'll give them Long Sister and maybe an adjacent village, and then Little Sister and an adjacent village. However, Sisterton will remain mine until further notice. I'll also need to decide who I want to give land in Lorath to. I'm reluctant to give it to any of the Northern Lords because I'd prefer they stay in the North. So that means we'll probably have to recruit from outside the Kingdom of the North and give the territory in Lorath to them. I don't know that I necessarily even want to hold the city of Lorath, but for now I will. And what else? Right, so we have new potential allies. We have the Vale and Peter Baelish, although I'm reluctant to negotiate with him. Obviously, Rook Raventree doesn't know much about him, but I certainly do. We also have whatever Riverlands lords are still running about. We'll have to track them down. We have rumors of the Dragon Queen in Dragonstone. She might make a powerful ally. And then, of course, we have the Reach that is not doing particularly well against the Westerlands. They could maybe use our help. However, they turned down a potential alliance with the Starks in the past, and so they might, still be reluctant to deal with us Northerners. And we might be reluctant to deal with them after, them turning us down. The Stormlands, however, are under new management, I guess you could say, and it might be worth trying to form some sort of alliance with them. And Dorne has been largely neutral thus far, and it may be worth looking into them as well. Anyways, let's go into Winterfell. Actually, before we do that, I just want to show you guys my current army and party. So, aside from Rook Raventree, who's not currently in his, war getup, we have Arwen Umber, my new wife, that you guys just saw us marry a couple minutes ago. So she refuses to stay home and hold court. She wants to be out in the field with us. And so she is riding along on a wedding gift that was given to her, a Dornish sandsteed, wearing some traditional Umber coat of plates armor. She is carrying Dark Sister because I'm no longer carrying it. And she has a shield made specifically for her. It is the Raventree Weirwood tree on red with the Umber chains over the top of it to represent her uniting the two houses, basically. And she does have a war lance exactly like this one that keeps disappearing, so I'll have to track that down. You may also notice that the northern armor is a bit different. I have adjusted it to look more like Jon Snow's armor in season 7. So the Gorget has changed, and it, rather than having two Stark wolves on it, it has a weirwood tree. I've also made the coat of plates darker, and I've removed the blue from the quilted undershirt and made it sort of like a neutral gray color. There's also obviously the plate armor version, which I will be wearing when we go into battle. However, for now, just the lighter one is fine. And then I have my traditional nasal helm, but with a crown on it to show that I am king. So that is my equipment and Arwen's equipment. She, again, will be riding with us. But when we're hanging out in the castle, she will probably, resume her duties in court there. I'm also carrying some of our other companions' heavy armor because they don't need it right now. So there's Arwen Umber, our new wife, who will be following us into battle. Sir Roman Corbray returns. He is obviously not wearing his helmet. I have it in my inventory. Domeric Bolton, who is the last living Bolton, actually. He remained loyal to the Starks and then obviously the Raventrees when they decided to overthrow the Boltons. And so we've not only let him live, but we've taken him into our confidence, and we'll keep him around. He is not currently Lord of the Dreadfort. I have given that honor to our eldest brother, Robert Raventree, at least for now. He is going to essentially watch over that and make sure that it, the various people originally loyal to the Boltons are sort of kept a close watch on. Garrett Longley returns. We've given him some Raventree armor, though. And we have Nadia Emmerich and Bowen Cray serving as our sort of like healers and maesters. Now, if you don't see your character in here, it's probably because I haven't heard from you in a while. So I basically went through and looked at which characters were created by who, and if those people were still active, I carried them over. If they hadn't been active in a while, I didn't. But that isn't to say that they're gone forever. They're off just doing their own thing for the moment. But that isn't to say that they couldn't come back. So if you had a character and you don't see them here, just check in. Let us know what your character's been up to, and I can re-add them, no problem. If you haven't had a character in and you would like to, all you need to do is come up with a cool backstory for your character, submit it in the comments, and then stay active in the comments and or helpful. You don't need to roleplay if that's not your thing. However, it's definitely encouraged. Instead, you can offer advice or suggestions. Just stay active. It doesn't have to be roleplaying. But the more often I see your name come up in the comments, the more likely I am to choose you to add you in. Also, you need to be a subscriber, but I think that kind of goes without saying, because it would be hard for you to stay active on my videos if you weren't subscribed to them. Okay, so I've got quite a few men here. They've all been updated to reflect that the Raventrees are now King of the North. We've got some updated pikemen. We'll see more of them later. I have gone away with the Northern Archers, and we have Northern Longbowmen now. And then my sergeants are carrying hammers rather than like bill hooks. So that's our army. So there is a couple of companions that are doing different jobs now. So first is Roderick Tory, or as he's now known, Sir Roderick Tory. He was originally our squire, but is now the current holder of, I believe, Branch Hall. So as you guys may remember, he was from the Wolfswood clans, and was the son of one of the sort of like petty lords. We took him on as a squire, and his father was killed. So now he is the petty lord of Branch Hall, and has his own party. He's not part of ours anymore. But he is still around. So let's see. I'll try to track him down. Let's see. Kingdom of the North. Where would he be? Sir Roderick Tory. We'll need to update his heraldry, but here he is. And obviously, as I mentioned before, Robert Raventree is currently holding the Dreadfort and Deep Crest, just to keep the former Bolton supporters in line. Domeric Bolton may take that over at some point, but we'll see. And then finally, we have Rylan Raventree and Martin Snow, and they are now holding positions in my court, or at least temporarily in Rylan's case. So Martin Snow has become my castellan. Rather than the captain of my infantry, he is basically taking over recruiting duties and just managing all the war effort stuff. There's Queen Arwen just hanging out there, bumped Rylan down here. Rylan is currently serving as my chancellor, right? I think I forget what you're called, but he is the one that I do all the main stuff through. That said, he's not very well suited to the job, so we're going to need to find somebody who is. So hint, hint, if you're trying to come up with a new character, I could really use a new... I can't remember what they're called. I'm going to call it a Chancellor, even though technically that's what he is. Yeah, I need a new Chancellor, or we'll call it Hand of the King. How about that? That's more appropriate for this setting. So, yeah. He is my current Hand of the King, but he doesn't like the job, and we need a new one. And then Arwen refuses to take it because she'd rather be out in the field with us. So that's where Rylan and Martin Snow are. So, Rylan, we need to do some stuff. I need to, first of all, I'm going to replace Great John Umber as Marshal, and I will be Marshal. And do you have any ideas to strengthen our sovereignty's unity? No, you don't. Okay. Right. So I need to grant some land. Let's first take a look at the land that we want to give, because it's going to be a couple of things. Alright, so the game's a bit laggy. I don't know why. Greywall and Long Sister I think will be a good like package deal. And then Little Sister and Tenby, or I guess these don't really matter. One or the other. But I'm going to give... I need to remember their names. It's Wendell and Wylis, I believe. So let's see. We have Sir Wylis Manderley. The Manderleys have new armor as well. And I've made them look a little bit huskier. So Wylis Manderley has no fiefs. And his brother Wendell also has no fiefs. So I'll give them the territory we were just looking at. And then, I don't know why I keep going back. I could just click on it from their family tree. Wyman Manderley doesn't have anything either, but he is going to get White Harbor when we take it. So until we do, he'll probably remain without any fiefs. And he seems okay with that. He's not too upset by me giving land away. So I guess we'll do these two for Wylis and two of these for Wendell. And we'll have to figure out the rest from there. But that seems like a good start. So, Rylan. Let's see. I want to grant some fiefs. We're going to give Long Sister to Sir Wylis. And some people didn't like that. But that's okay. Benfred Tallheart really doesn't like me. We'll have to deal with that. And then, let's see. It was Greywall, if I'm not mistaken. We'll give that to Sir Wylis as well. And then we'll go to here once more. And let's see. Little Sister is going to go to the little brother. Or I think he's the little brother. Sir Wendell Manderley. And then we will grant him... let's see. It was either the Old Barrow or Tenby. I'll give him Tenby. To Sir Wendell. Okay. And again, a lot of people not liking that, but it can't be helped. The Manderleys certainly like that, though. So I'll need to do something about Benfred Tallheart. I'll see if I can't bring him around. Donnell Hornwood didn't like that much either. But that's all the territory we're going to give away for now. I still need to find people to give land to in Lorath. I'll have to see if I have any random villages within here to give out still. It's possible that I do. But I tried to give everybody back their ancestral homes. Some people got less land just because obviously the Glovers couldn't hold the whole thing and have Roderick Tory hold Branch Hall as well. And then I'm not holding all of what the Starks would have normally held because I gave away this to Barbary Dustin, but then I'll take Barrowton, so maybe not even a fair trade there, but that's fine. And then I'll give away these villages more than likely so that I have people patrolling around my city for me. But I think we're going to end it here because, again, I need your guys' input as to what we are going to do next. So we have two choices as far as war goes. I'd prefer not to be a war with both at the same time. Either the Ironborn or the, I guess we can just say the Lannisters, the Westerlands. One or the other we'll go to war with to take back what is rightfully the North's territory. And then we'll deal with the other later. My preference is probably the Ironborn because the war with the Lannisters is going to be a long one. We should also help free our allies in the Riverlands as well if we're going to go to war with them. Then we have potential allies. The Vale, maybe. Dragonstone, possibly. We don't know much about what's going on there. Stormlands, I think, is maybe a good bet. and then we have the Reach, who could be, maybe, kind of, and then obviously Dorn, who's been very, very quiet this far. And then we're going to pretty much ignore Essos for a little while. So those are the different things to sort of weigh in on. Oh, and one last thing. I did not mention this yet, but we have a new Valyrian steel sword. Between Season 1 and Season 2, Rook went back to Essos and finished collecting all those Valyrian steel daggers and had them forged into a new sword. This one is much bigger than Dark Sister, and we had a blood red ruby set into the pommel as well. So this is our new Valyrian steel sword, and it needs a name. So I'll ask you guys to come up with a name for our sword as well. So that is going to be it. Don't forget, we need a name for this sword. We need to decide who to go to war with, and we need to decide who could maybe be worth trying to ally with. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time talking about some Clash of Kings with you. I look forward to jumping into some actual gameplay and battle in the next episode. But for now, we've just got to figure out how we're going to move forward. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys back here for the next episode.